This is Screencasting Excretory System by Reza, Amanda Jacqueline, and Farbod. The human excretory system functions to remove waste from the human body. This system consists of specialized structures and capillary networks that assist in the excretory process. The human excretory system includes the kidney and its functional unit, the nephron.
The excretory system consists of two kidneys, ureter, bladder, and urethra. The kidneys are bean-shaped organs and their primary function is to produce urine. How they do that, however, we will explain it in more detail later. On the concave side, there is an opening which the renal artery and renal vein enter and exit.
The urine produced by the kidneys travels through this long tube called the ureter and is stored in the muscular organ called the urinary bladder. The urine is then excreted via the urethra.
The renal cortex is the outer part of the kidney. It functions in filtration and removing waste from the body. The renal medulla is the inner part of the kidney. It contains the renal pyramids, which play a big part in blood filtration. The renal pelvis is the central space or cavity that is continuous with the ureter. Its main function is to collect urine filtrate from the collecting tubes.
The kidney is composed of over 1 million nephrons. The nephrons produce urine and are positioned so the urine flows into a collecting duct. The nephron consists of a distal convoluted tubule, a proximal convoluted tubule, a Bowman's capsule, a glomerulus, a loop of Henle, an afferent arteriole, an efferent arteriole, and a collecting duct.
The glomerulus is a network of capillaries that performs the first step of filtrating blood. The glomerulus receives its blood supply from an afferent arteriole of the renal circulation. Unlike other capillary beds, the glomerulus drains into an efferent arteriole. Pressure filtration occurs here, which forces small molecules such as nitrogenous waste, water, salt, and ions into the Bowman's capsule. Large molecules are unable to pass here. These remain in the blood and leave the glomerulus via the afferent arteriole.
If the kidneys only did pressure filtration, we would quickly die from water and nutritional loss. Therefore, our kidneys reabsorb molecules that are needed by the body. This is called selective reabsorption. The molecules that are reabsorbed move from the proximal convoluted tubular into the peritubular capillaries.
In addition, there exists a process called the tubular secretion, which is an active process by which non-filterable waste such as drugs, hydrogen ions, and ammonia are added to the tubular fluid so that they can be also excreted in the urine. This occurs at the distal convoluted tubule.
Water reabsorption occurs at the loop of Henle. It is believed that urea leaks from the collecting duct into the inner medulla. This causes the inner medulla to have a high salt concentration. Therefore, as the fluid from the descending limb flows down, H2O leaves and is reabsorbed by the surrounding capillaries. As fluid flows up the ascending limb, salts are actively diffused out so no water enters the limb again. The upper layer of the ascending limb requires more energy because it is impermeable.
As explained before, H ions move from the blood into distal convoluted tubule and they are then sent to collecting duct and then excreted. The removal of H ions keeps the acidity levels low and regulates the pH of blood.
Glucose levels in the renal artery should be the same of the renal vein. However, during tubular reabsorption, when glucose is actively passed into the blood, there is a limit to how many carrier molecules are able to reabsorb glucose of urea. Any excess is then excreted. Oh, we're recording? Pew 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 pew!
Aldosterone are hormones secreted by the adrenal cortex of the adrenal glands, located on top of the kidneys. Aldosterone causes salts to be reabsorbed in the collecting duct to be used by the nephron for water reabsorption. ADH, another hormone, is released from the pituitary glands of the hypothalamus and causes more water to be absorbed at the nephron. Therefore, if a person is exercising, more ADH is released, keeping the body hydrated and functioning.
Thanks for watching.